my life to be built upon the rock of salvation. Lord, I want my life to be built upon a rock, the firm foundation of love.
Who exactly is this Jesus? We know that he was a Jew in Roman-controlled Palestine, and that we have to understand him within the confines of his Jewish culture. We also know that he lived in a country about the size of Rhode Island, and that he was a first-century man that more closely resembles Osama bin Laden than Hollywood's depiction of him. A rabbi whose public ministry lasted less time than one term of an American president. But if that were the sum of all who Jesus was and is, well, we wouldn't be talking about him like this today. A man who was only that would not cause men to leave their homes, family, and occupations to follow him. A man simply like that does not cause such devotion that his followers would allow themselves to be crucified upside down instead of denying him. No, there is more to Jesus than that. Much more extraordinary than that. The question Jesus asked his disciples over 2,000 years ago, "Who do you say I am?" is just as relevant today. Countless people who encountered Jesus struggled with the very question that he asked, and perhaps you are as well today. When Jesus forgave a man of his sins, the religious leaders of his day exclaimed, "Who is this man who speaks blasphemy? Who can forgive sins but God alone?" They later rephrased the question when they said, "Who is this man who even forgives sin?" When Herod Antipas, the puppet ruler of Galilee, heard about all that Jesus had done, he inquired himself, "Who is this man about whom I hear such things?" When Jesus taught in his hometown of Nazareth, listen to what the people said about him. "Where did this man get these things? And what is this wisdom given to him, and such miracles as these performed by his hands? Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, and brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? Are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. When the disciples and Jesus were crossing the Sea of Galilee, a storm threatened to destroy their boat. Jesus got up and told Mother Nature to back down, and it stood perfectly still. The disciples were afraid and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Even the Apostle Paul, upon discovering who Jesus is, refers to him as a spiritual mystery, not in a whodunit way, but in a who was he way. You could go up to any Joe on the street and ask them if they believed that there was once a man named Jesus, and they would enthusiastically say yes. But ask them who they believe him to be, and you'd likely get a whole shindig of different answers. You see, the debate of who he was and who he is still rages. And I hope today to help you answer for yourself, who do you say I am? Because it really doesn't matter what I think of him. What really matters is what you think of him. But in order to answer that question, we must go to who he was before he came and lived among us. This is why today we must turn to John chapter 1, verses 1 through 18, and discover the identity of who the Apostle John refers to as the Word.
Lord, I want my life to be built upon the rock of salvation. Lord, I want my life to be built upon a rock, the firm foundation of love.